All right, we're going to go ahead and get started this morning. I am excited to start doing these daily power-ups with you. For those of you that may be joining us for the first time, my name is Will King. I'm an agent here in Columbia, South Carolina, and the King Group is the team that I am a part of, and we are powered by Place, which provides some excellent content for power-ups, and this morning is no different. It is a great morning for a power up. I hope you use this as an opportunity to really get your day kicked off right, get you into lead generation, and it certainly will be a moment of encouragement too in a business that can be really tough. We do ask a few things of you. Number one, have your video on. We want to be able to see you and interact with you. And also, as we get towards the end, we want you to be open to sharing your gratitude and participate with us. And then let's bring some energy because it is a Monday morning. It is a tough business that we're in. And we certainly want to lift each other up. So with Place, we have some key values, some core values that we always like to talk about. We love to talk about grit, results. We only participate with leaders, wealth, teamwork, and humility. Those are our core values. You may have some of your own, and we'd encourage you to also dwell on those today as you go throughout your day. Always maintain true to your values. That's always important. So we have some really cool events coming up with our team as well. If you want to participate in these, we've got some great technology trainings, agent masterminds. These are open. So whether you are with us at Place or not, we want you to feel open to participating with these. Last week, I took part in a prospecting day and made over 100 dials in one day. A lot of fun. It generated a lot of activity. And then we had call night last week as well. So another great opportunity to gather around and really work as a team. This Thursday, though, it is an incredible opportunity for you to hear from Chris Suarez, who's one of our founders, as well as Brendan Brouchard. And so they're going to be talking about powering through change. We are in a changing market that is more and more difficult day by day. So how do we power through change? You'll want to take part in this call. It will be on Thursday at 11 a.m. If you would like to take part in it and just hear from some great minds in the industry, absolutely free. We can get you set up to take part in that. Now, today we're going to talk about the Nike principles. I love this because Nike, even as a young company, had principles that they were laying the foundation for. They were laying the foundation for who they were going to be years into the future. And so in 1977, before we get there, these are the principles. And I'll send this slide deck out as well. But in 1977, Rob Strasser, who was a Nike executive, outlined these principles that would have a significant role in shaping the company's culture and path to success. Now, while they're simple, there's a lot that we can learn from them. I'm going to read through these 10 principles with you right now. Number one, our business is change. Number two, we're on offense all the time. Number three, perfect results count, not a perfect process. Break the rules, fight the law. Number three, this is as much about battle as it is about business. Number five, assume nothing. Make sure people keep their promises. Push yourselves, push others. Stretch the possible. Number six, live off the land. Number seven, your job isn't done until the job is done. Number eight, dangers, bureaucracy, personal ambition, energy takers versus energy givers. That one's big for me. Knowing our weaknesses. Don't get too many things on the platter. Number nine, it won't be pretty. And number 10, if we do the right things, we'll make some damn near automatic. We'll make money damn near automatic. So number one, let's just dwell on a few of these for today, and we'll do more throughout the week. Principle one was our businesses change. It's not that things change. Our industry is immersed in change. So think of it this way. It's not that real estate is constantly changing. It's really that the industry is defined by change. So how can we benefit from this? How can we continue to grow during change? And I guess the bigger question for us each individually, how do you adapt to change in real estate? For me, my initial response is concern. I don't want to use the word fear, but it is what's going to happen next. It's vulnerability. It's, am I ready for this? And so what about you? How do you adapt to change in real estate? It could be the overall industry, or it could be on a deal-by-deal basis.
The way that I adapt to change is that I try to study what's going on in the market and try to get on board. I try to mimic what I see others are doing that they're being successful at and go from there. But it's just more so about adapting to the change, more so for me than anything.
That's a good response, because we aren't trying to reinvent the wheel here. There are others who have come before us, others that have been through various markets, some like this, some not. But if you do, as you said, mimic the leaders, and thank you, Ashley, you do have an opportunity to learn from those that have been before us. Principle two, we're on offense all the time. What does being on offense look like to you? Do you ever feel like you're on defense? How does that make you feel? And how can you focus on offense more? Sometimes I have felt defensive. Sometimes I have felt more reactionary than proactive. And I don't like that. I would much rather be on offense. I would rather be ahead of the game. And so being on offense to me is not sitting back and waiting. It's not, it is pushing for that transaction to become a reality. Let's work together. Let's push. Let's make this deal happen. Let's make a win-win for both clients. That's playing offense to me. Would you add anything?
I agree with you. I also think thinking outside of the box. Anybody can do a smooth, easy transaction where everything lines up. But it's those transactions where none of the stuff line up together that you can be successful at. So I try to think ahead as well, like you stated, and also think outside of the box. Like, how can I get around this, or how can I make this work in my client's favor or the other client as well? So both clients can be successful.
Yeah, that's really good. And thank you, Ashley, because you're building the foundation, and then you can build creativity upon that foundation. And when you think outside of the box, you can find ways to get things done that other people won't put the effort into finding, or they just haven't figured it out yet. So absolutely, thinking outside of the box is a good way to be on offense more often. Principle three, perfect results count, not a perfect process. Break the rules, fight the law. You are remembered for the rules you break. Now, this is an interesting idea to me. Staying disciplined, breaking rules. I remember a conversation I had with Katie, who's on our team, when we were at family reunion a couple of years ago. And we were in a breakout for admins, and the admins that were at the head that were leading this said, you need to understand that the process will break. And that was a light bulb, I think, for Katie. And I told her at that time, I said, it's okay if it breaks, because that gives us an idea of where we need to fix it. And I'm okay if it breaks. Let's just find a way to fix it. And so that was a light bulb for her. And for me, it was a light bulb that I guess I didn't realize that there are personality types out there, whether they're clients, whether they're teammates, that they have a hard time when things break. They see it as failure when really it's not failure. It is an opportunity for us to get better. So what does it mean for you to break rules, or what rules are out there that maybe you need to break?
So for me, I'm gonna be honest. I like being a rule breaker, to be honest with you. I don't like to follow the rules anyway. So with that being stated, it goes back to what I said before, just thinking around and thinking outside of the box. Everything doesn't have to be that perfect fit for it to work. You got to learn what works for you. I listened to a football player a couple of years ago do an interview, and he was like the smallest football player, but he was successful. He had a 10-year run and everything. And the one thing he said was he played the game for the game to work for him. And I think that's what it's all about, playing so it works for you. So not necessarily breaking the rules. No process is perfect. My process is not going to look like your process, and it's okay. But at the end of the day, am I winning? That's the question that that's the goal that I'm trying to get to. I want to win at the end of the day.
So I know you have kids. I have kids too. I liken it sometimes to playing a game with them, whether it's a board game like Monopoly or whether it's, hey, we're playing on the soccer field today. You have to know the rules of the game. And in knowing the rules of the game, if you know it really, really well, you have an advantage over the other players. And so I liken it to that sometimes. And I think in real estate, it can be the same way. It's not that you're necessarily breaking rules, because that has a bad connotation, but it is knowing every rule and being the knowledgeable one in the room. Principle 4. This is as much about battle as it is about business. And this kind of ties into 3 a little bit as we talk about knowing the rules. What does it mean to prepare for battle? What are we at war with? That's a great question, because I think sometimes when I think about who am I at war with, I am very protective of my client. I feel like I'm at war against bad information. I'm at war against those that don't have their fiduciary interest at heart, like I do. How could we focus on battle while being collaborative with other companies? Because, I mean, we see it out there every day. There are agents who are combative. We don't want to be combative. We want to be collaborative, but we also need to be firm. Any thoughts on being collaborative?
I agree with you. Working together, teamwork makes the dream work. So instead of going back and forth with each other or being against each other, let's all get together so we can make this thing work. So I'm with you on that end about being collaborative.
I got some great advice from a veteran agent one time, and it actually was in regards to my client, my seller client. And he said, you owe your client the truth. If it's overpriced, you owe them the truth. And you need to have that conversation with them. It's not a pleasant one. They don't want to necessarily hear it, but you owe them the truth. I think that ties in really well also. And then this last quote, always sticks, and is the fear of failure, I thought, will never be our downfall as a company. And so as a couple of weeks ago when I was in Phoenix, we talked about failure a lot. Failure is going to happen. But failure is your opportunity to grow. It's your opportunity to get better. It is a lot of failure will translate into success. We're going to fail more often than we succeed. And we have to be okay with that. Those that are afraid of failure or that avoid failure aren't going to make it very far in their success journey. How can we avoid a fear of failure?
I would say putting yourself out on the front end, just going for it. I saw a motivational speech by Will Smith one day, and he said, once you can get over failure and fear, the opportunities are endless for you. And so I just want that opportunity to be endless for me. So I just go for it. I mean, if I fall, the best thing I can do for myself is get back up.
I heard a speaker tell the audience that you needed to be okay with being embarrassed. And that struck home for me. You know, I've been embarrassed. I've fallen down, literally fallen down. You know, and I think once you get rid of that, you know, fear of being embarrassed, so much opens up to you in the world. So just a few things. There are 4 principles of our 10 right there. Is there a principle that you want to work on more that we discussed today?
I think more so the second one, when we were talking about like thinking outside of the box and going about things in a different way, but still making sure that we're effective with whatever we do, persistent and consistent. So that will be something that I definitely need to work on. I would say right now my process is probably all over the place because I'm trying everything to figure out what works. But I also learned that you have to give things time too. And sometimes if it doesn't work today, it may work 3 months from now. And I can't be all over the place either. So just remaining consistent, believing in myself and going from there.
Yeah, talking point number 2, we're on offense all the time. And just the fact that you say you're always trying to see what's working, what's new, what can I do different? That tells me you're on offense all the time. I think for me, it comes back to number 1, our business is change. Like it's going to change. And those of us that put in the work are going to be the best prepared. We shouldn't be afraid of change. We just need to be ready to adapt to it. I think that really is one that I need to stick on a little bit more. You'll get this a little later today. We always love scripts. We always love ways that we can talk to our clients, points that we can make. Script sometimes is a tough word, you know, maybe talk path. Hey, client, this is Will with the King Group. The reason for my call today is just because I sent you a home I think could be a good fit for you. It's the one located at blah, blah, blah. Did you see this come through your email? Okay, great. That particular home really stood out to me, and I'd like to show it to you before next week because I don't think it'll last. Would an afternoon or an evening or the weekend work better for your tour inside? I love that assumptive close. Take an assumptive close. Every one of us has different close techniques, but when you go ahead and assume that they want to see that house, that has power. That makes them commit. Perfect. Now, what I'm going to do is call the seller and set up a time this evening. Once I do that, I'll call you to confirm the time. Does that sound good? Look at that. You are leading them in that process. You are giving them clear parameters. One of my weaknesses that I'm working on is not communicating everything properly. I think in my head that I have it, and I do have it, but I haven't communicated it to the client. That's something I know I can work on. So keep that in mind as well. And then at the end, before I do that, I have a quick question for you. Have you had any other realtors show you homes? Let's make sure that we're qualifying these buyers because we don't want to waste our time on someone that's not willing to commit to us. And then we finish it up with also, were there any other homes that stood out to you besides this one? So let's just continue to provide value to those clients. Hey, I always want to talk about what we're grateful for when we wrap things up. What are you grateful for today? Nike says greatness is not born, it is made.
I'm grateful for life. I mean, I got an opportunity to wake up this morning and I got an opportunity to see my children and my husband off to school and work. And I mean, that's something that's priceless that money can't buy. So yeah. I'm definitely grateful for family.
Yeah, me too. I love the routine of life sometimes because you get into that routine of work, yes, but you get into that routine with your kids and your spouse, and routine sometimes has a bad name, but routine can also be really good. Also grateful for, just be honest, I'm grateful for my church family. A huge benefit that we got time to spend with them yesterday and be encouraged and have people come around you. Do something amazing today. I mean, it's early. We're going to let everybody go. We're going to share this with some other folks, but it's 9:20. I said 15 to 20 minutes. Go do something amazing. And if I can be of any help in that, let me know. And thanks for joining us today. And we'll do this again tomorrow and re-explore the other Nike principles and how they can apply to our lives. Have a great day. Thanks, Ashley. I appreciate it.
The same here. Thank you.
We're going to do it again tomorrow if you can make it, and we'll have more people join us. I'm committed to doing this because I think it's something that's absolutely lacking.
Yeah, I enjoyed it this morning.
Yeah.
So keep going for it. So I hope you keep it up, and I'll be on every morning.
Hey, have a great day.
You too. Take care now.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.